Now, here's the thing. You will struggle with lust all your life. This is the part where you get curious. Wise people get curious. Unwise people get offended and just walk out, right? Curiosity is a very integral part of every growth process. Be curious. Don't get offended. Be curious. That's the key to a lot of the doors that you're currently banging on. Your lack of curiosity. But let me put it this way. For a lot of men, and I can speak to the male experience because it is something that I have lived and it is something that I understand, at least to a very large extent. To the female experience, I cannot speak to as authoritatively, not because I don't have any insight into it, but because all the insights that I have gotten through the lens of other people's perspectives. What that means is through books, through research papers, through all of that. Sometimes theory has to meet with practice in order to become a whole body of work. And fortunately, let me not say if I say unfortunately, it could be like I want to change gender. I'm happy where I am like this. But yes, I will not get to live that experience. And that's fine with me because everybody gets to have some part of the human experience. But for the man, please pay attention. For the majority of men, for the average man, your sexuality, and when I say sexuality, I'm not talking about whether you're straight or you're gay. I'm talking about your urges, your desires, It's not something that you will conquer on a once and for all basis, where you now begin to experience a certain, no. You will struggle, you will fight, you will experience victories, but that victory will need to be sustained through force, brute force, all your life, and it is something that you have to come to terms with quickly. The reason a lot of people have experienced relapse in areas where they thought that they had gotten victory is because they thought that that victory was going to be total and continual and for life. That does not exist, period. But we have a very interesting conversation. I can give you one hack, and I call it a hack, not because it is anything, anything so gimmicky. No, it is one thing that you can apply. And all of a sudden, the fights that you are fighting within yourself, the fights that you don't want to fight, the fight that you are fighting and that you are losing, you gain an automatic upper hand in that battle. But before we get into that, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. That's the kind of thing I like to hear. Let me hear the sound of your thumb against the subscribe. Like this video because I know, and you know if you've been here before, it's gonna be a hit even before I drop it. Right? I was getting into the innate accent. I do have that part of me. But smash that subscribe button. It really does help us keep this channel afloat and make our experience worthwhile. It's very encouraging. Like the video. And without further ado, let's get into it. What's the one thing that can give you some level of victory if you practice it on a consistent basis? Now, before we get into that, I want you to know that your hold over your sexual life as a man or as a human being is very, very integral to your full journey of success. No cap. If you're going to amount to much or if you're going to achieve your full potential, there's a level of focus that is required to be able to get there, and you will not be able to reach anywhere close to that level of focus if your attention is easily gotten by things that your lusts are craving. And so, how do you even begin to go about this? Because many people have made many pledges. You have promised yourself, you have promised God. Me, I remember I told God one time, Omo, if I do this thing again, strike me with leprosy. God just look me like, I forgive I forgive you. You don't know what you're saying. But these are the issues. Determination is not enough. The only thing that can help you, and I've seen people go for deliverance on these issues. And while I am not saying that sometimes it is not spirit sponsored, I am saying that there are things that you did to even open the door for spiritual activity to come in the first place. How does the young man make sure that he doesn't fall into these traps? The first and the most important thing I will tell you is this. Your life has to be, write this down, structured. There's a certain measure of structure that must come into your life without which anything begins to go. And when anything begins to go, the truth of the matter is you cannot control what anything is. You can't then put a border around which anything can come in and which anything can't come in. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Hi. I'm just now realizing I didn't even turn on my second camera. You know, I just use the idea to tell you that I now have two cameras. I don't know if you... Anyways, back to the gist. Please pay attention to this. There is a certain measure of structure that young men must start getting used to with understanding from when they are still young. And when I say with understanding, I mean it's not things that parents can force into you, can inculcate into you without your consent. When we do that, you can get the child to fit into a mode and perform the activities, but if they don't understand why they are doing that or why it is important for them, this is not the case of the usual African, when you grow, you will understand. No, there needs to be information. Information needs to precede and accompany these sets of structures if the young man will come to appreciate them and it will work for him. Get this, discipline in one area affects the structure of your life in every other area. It seems very unconnected, but if you want to get it right when it comes to controlling your sexual life, my one advice to you is this: go to bed in time. No, you don't understand. Let me say that again. If there is one advice I have given to young men consistently over the years, and it has worked for them, and I have practiced in my own life and it has worked for me, and every time I begin to disobey this one rule, I start to fall off actively. Are you understand what I'm saying? I dey feel myself, they let go. I don't they entertain thoughts where I'm not supposed to entertain. I am now entertaining conversations that should be outlawed by the consecrations of my life and the parameters I have set for my journey. If there is any one law, it's not fasting, it's not praying, it's not speaking in tongues, and we do all these things. It is go to bed in time. Let me change that in time, because in time has to be defined. Go to bed at the time you said to yourself you will go to bed. This is very simple, but it is the greatest thing that a man, and I say man, when I use that word, I mean anybody who will have control over their lives. When person tell you, you're a man, act like a man, it means take control over your life, over your situation, over how you're feeling, whatever that is. That's usually what they are referring to. This is really powerful, and you need to share. Please, as we are still talking, can you go ahead and share this video with somebody? And if they share this video with you, please, they are not, the person that shared the video is not accusing you that you don't have a hold over your beds, that anybody that want to see what is under your skirt will just see it. They are just saying, let them share it to you so that you can share it to somebody. But listen, please pay attention to this. What does it mean to go to bed on time, and how does that correlate to being able to have strength in this very important area of your life? I'll break it down like this. The single most difficult thing for a person who has lost control of their lives, either you've lost control to an addiction, whether it is gambling, sports betting, or it's social media, or it's whatever it is, whatever the addiction is, the single most difficult thing for you to do is to go to bed at the time when you said you will go to bed. And the reason is, by the nature of addictions, it forces you to do things that you don't want to do when you don't want to do them. So even after swearing, I'm not going to get back into this. There are conditions that if they are met, it doesn't matter what you predetermined, you are still going to find yourself in the belly of that thing. So what are we trying to do when we want to step away from such a life? We are trying to get ourselves into a position that makes it unconducive, progressively unconducive for that thing to thrive. So I'm not telling you to stop chasing women, or to stop opening your leg for men. I'm sorry to sound like that. Or to stop gambling, or to stop abusing. I'm not telling you to do any of that, because saying that to somebody is like, I mean, where am I going to get the strength to do that from? But what I'm trying to get you to do in this very simple, easy step, it's not very easy, but relatively, when you compare that to quit that abuse, get away from masturbation, the simple thing I'm telling you to do right now is this: set a time that you are going to sleep in the night. 1 hour to that time, start shutting down. And part of your shutting down routine must include writing down what you are going to do tomorrow. It doesn't matter if the affliction rises again the next day. This is irrelevant to what we are discussing. What I'm asking you to do is, I am going to go to bed at 10:30 p.m. tonight. And at 10:30 p.m., you find yourself in bed, struggling to sleep, but struggling anyways. That's fine. The phone is far away. Whatever it is far away. But you have shut down for the day and you have gone to bed. Listen, we will not drag this thing out. But if you can do this for 1 straight week, you have unlocked in yourself the potential to be great for years to come. Nothing is automatic here. Everything has to be sustained. But your ability to get a hold of your life in this one area, put a structure around it, is the beginning of your journey into a space where your whole life has structure. The journey of 1,000 miles, they say, begin with one step. The first step is that this night, you will not be found at 2 a.m. scrolling or on the phone with the love of your life or doing anything else but asleep. You may not know this, but I guarantee you, this is how you begin to take the power back. There's no way that you sleep, and I don't want to say 2 months so that the thing doesn't rest so heavy on your heart, because there's still another step, and I'll share step number 2 with you in another video. But I want you to be done with this. Achieve this for 1 week. Give me feedback. Let's see if together we are not able to snatch your life back from that part where you think you don't even have control over it anymore. If you enjoyed this video and for some reason you forgot to share it, please go ahead and tap that share button. Somebody else needs to see this. And just to mention, if these videos are not enough for you, and I know they are not, we need to have longer conversations just so you can be exposed to more light. For the last 5 months, we've been having monthly conversations. It's called Beyond Conversation, every last Saturday of the month for 3 hours. The global community here from all over the world, we gather virtually and we talk. If you want to be in that room and connect with the most amazing people while you're getting light for your life, click the link in the description. I've put it right there, and make sure that you get a ticket and you're part of the next conversation. May 30, 12 noon Nigerian time. If you're yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. It don't use to bite. And until next time, remember, don't mention no. we don't do that here.